Austria are looking great. Really good. Ukraine bounced back. And what are your thoughts on the Netherlands versus France? Welcome back, everyone. Great to have you here once again. And to any newcomers, thanks for checking out the channel and this series. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of our daily videos here on Euro Daily. And also make sure you congratulate our new leader in the Euro 2024 trivia group. The official Rabona TV club on FC Quiz app has a new leader, and his name is Big Richard Rick. What a name. But more importantly, what a turnout from him points-wise. I have unfortunately slacked on the quizzes and dropped all the way down to 24th, as you guys can see, but our club now has as many members as the official Man City club, so let's pass these guys. Use the link below to download the app for free and join the Rabona TV club, or you can search for Rabona TV in the club section. Cool? Let's go. Slovakia hot off of their win over Belgium, taking on a Ukrainian side that was hoping to have a strong reply to their difficult start against Romania. And as things went early in this match, it looked as though Ukraine were going to have a very difficult time once again. Slovakia were kind of all over them, providing most of the danger in the attack. And when they lost the ball, they pressed well to win it back quickly. They really are one of the teams in this tournament that you can say play cohesively. They understand each other and the coach Francesco Calzone's approach. The ideas aren't falling on deaf ears, you know? David Hansko, one of Slovakia's top performers of this tournament thus far, really tested Anatoly Trubin from a free kick. Trubin, of course, getting the start ahead of Andriy Lunin after his difficult match against Romania, where he was at fault for definitely one, maybe two goals. Looked really weak on that second one. But anyway, shortly after that free kick that Trubin saved, Ivan Stranz would score his second of the tournament. A ball lobbed to the corner of the 6-yard box, and Zinchenko completely misjudged it, leaving Stranz to head in from very close range. Headed into the ground, always difficult for the keeper when you do that. Stranz becomes just the second player in this tournament to score 2 goals alongside Musiala, as well as the second Slovakian player to score 2 goals in the European Championship. More great play from Slovakia, man. I remember how much difficulty they gave Portugal in qualifying. These fellas are good. From Ukraine's side of things, the fact that one of the leaders in the team like Zinchenko was beaten to the ball is a bit unacceptable, as Ukraine's defense was completely disorganized once again in that first half. That's their major downfall at the moment. It was their major downfall. Yes, the attack was faltering as well, but their defense in the midfield that sits in front of it is by far their weakest part of the pitch. However, as you can see from the score, they did get better after conceding for the most part. As Mudryk showed signs of life, he also maybe found signs of life in space as he rocketed a strike into orbit. And Yarmolenko asked a few questions of the Slovakian defense as well. But the most dangerous man on the pitch in that first half, Lucas Haraslin, who was also solid against Belgium. He tested Trubin, who was a busy man in this match toward the end of the first half, with a strike that was heading to the bottom corner. Good save there. Trubin had to make 4 saves in that first half alone. And then, guys, it finally happened, with Shaparenko finishing off a great attacking move from Ukraine. Mudryk drives forward through the middle. It finds its way to Dovbyk, then Zinchenko, and he squared it to the late runner, Shaparenko. Clean finish. Only his second goal for Ukraine. One of those football is simple kind of goals, you know, and it really propelled Ukraine forward. They needed that, their first of this tournament. Ukraine were definitely the stronger side from the goal onward, absolutely. Bolstered further by the fact that one of Slovakia's top defenders, unfortunately David Hansko, was forced off with what looked like a groin injury. It happened when nobody was around him. He kicked it out himself. Never a good sign, is it? And perhaps as a consequence of this, perhaps it was unrelated, but in the 80th minute, Shaparenko played a ball over the top, who took a sublime first touch before just tipping the ball past the on-rushing Dubravka. Perhaps more the question should be asked of Milan Skriniar, the captain, than Hansko's replacement, Oblov. All the same though, the touch from Yaremchuk is what made that goal, is what gave him even a prayer of having that attempt. Happy for the guy. That's a great goal for him and a huge one for Ukraine. Now, Slovakia would come closest to an equalizer from a corner, but unfortunately for them, Varo absolutely aired his attempt. Swing and a miss, didn't even make contact. Only scored that one in his mind, I guess. Ukraine win. They showed a lot of spirit, a lot of determination after a really disappointing 90 minutes against Romania and a disappointing first 45 against Slovakia. And they bring it all the way back to win 2-1 and get up and running in this tournament. Fantastic stuff. They, of course, would have to wait and see what happened between Romania and Belgium tomorrow. And we would have to wait as well. But Ukraine and Slovakia both on 3 points. Over to Group D, Poland and Austria, and the Poles were still without Lewandowski from the start, as he's still nursing that injury that he picked up in a pre-tournament friendly. How frustrating is that, eh? God. And so alongside Anna Buchsa, the scorer in the match against the Netherlands, actually, as you'll remember, was Krzysztof Piątek. Austria handed a start to Marko Arnautovic, and no doubt frustrated by their loss against France, in which they looked fantastic, they started this match super positively, taking the game to Poland from the off, smothering them, passing their way around them, and generating plenty of chances, and it took them just 9 minutes to score, as Trauner headed in at the near post from a Mwene cross, the center back getting in on the goals. From there, Austria just seemed to sit back a bit, take their foot off of the gas to the point where they couldn't match the pace of play from Poland. Poland began carving out opportunities, as Zalewski had a couple of which he managed to hit wide, and they looked dangerous from corners as well. Eventually, they were rewarded for their play, as a scramble in the box led to Piątek slotting it low past Patrick Pence from close range. Deserved goal for Poland. As you know, come to think of it, this Poland side hasn't been as uninspired as Polish teams of the past. They aren't reinventing the wheel. They aren't playing high-intensity, free-flowing football. But in that first half, they were certainly a far cry from some of the prehistoric slowpoke dino ball of the past. They provided Netherlands with some scares, and they were going blow for blow with this Austrian team in the first half, often keeping them at bay for much of that first half, looking like the better side, for sure. Speaking of which, the final opportunity of the half fell to Zielinski, who hit a wicked free kick that Patrick Pence was able to fly across goal and make acrobatic save from. Again, great job from Poland to keep Austria at bay for much of the half, as well as cause issues in the attack from their width. A lot of their danger came from working it down the wings, then cutting it back or crossing. Austria at least had the middle of the pitch covered. We're suffering on the wings a little bit, but that would change in the second half. The back and forth nature of this match did continue in the second half, and Poland were absolutely bolstered by the fact that Robert Lewandowski came on to make his Euro 2024 debut. Good to see him. Just what that does for the psyche of Poland, let alone the danger that Bobek brings to their attack, is massive, right? But another legend, Marko Arnautovic, had something to say. Yes, I gave him the legend status, a legend to some. But honestly, one of his greatest contributions came in the 66th minute, as he helped to facilitate a goal for Austria. An attack saw Alexander Prass pass inside to Arnautovic, who made the great decision to just step past the ball and let it run to Christoph Baumgartner, and he wrong-footed Szczesny with a little shimmy and then rolled it into the corner for 2-1 Austria. Baumgartner will no doubt have had that opportunity from the France match still burned in his brain. Remember when he was one-on-one with Maignan? But he made no mistake in this match. I feel as though Rangnick would have really tore into his side at the half, and early in the second half as well, as the pressing and energy from Austria was so much higher as the second half went on. They were on the back foot in the first, a bit sloppy in the first, but they looked more like that dangerous looking team that we saw from the France match. And of course, we saw Sabitzer break through from a great flick on, and when he was one-on-one with Szczesny, he tried to round the keeper, but was tripped. And from the penalty spot, another contribution from Arnautovic as he smacked it coolly past Szczesny for 3-1. Austria in total control at this point. Poland may be looking a little bit prehistoric once again, going back to their roots. You had Szczesny flying through the air to tip a rocket around the post. You had Konrad Laimer rounding Szczesny and just rolling the ball agonizingly across the face of goal. You had domination from Austria to close things out, bar that one chance that the Polish attacker blazed wide from about point blank. So Austria win this match 3-1, and they are looking very good value for moving on from this group, potentially either in third place or in second. I personally cannot wait to see what they can do up against the Netherlands. And speaking of the Netherlands, and in France versus Netherlands, a couple of things to address. First off, Mbappe wasn't starting this match, so Captain France wasn't to be seen from the start. He wouldn't play, actually. Second, as someone who doesn't support Netherlands, I got my wish with their lineup. Happy to see Frimpong get the start, and he was immediately effective for the Netherlands as he took a run at Theo Hernandez in what was a very back and forth opening that quickly became French domination for much of this match. That's not to say the Netherlands didn't have opportunities. There was a key moment in the 14th minute when Rabiot was played through, and instead of shooting, he tried to square to Griezmann, but the ball bobbled and Griezmann slipped. Why Rabiot didn't shoot? I don't know. Regrets there in hindsight, I'm sure. Just toe poke it. And yes, Griezmann hit one just wide following that bobbled attempt as well. Two good opportunities there. From there, it was Gakpo's turn to have a go, and he made Maignan stretch to keep out his dangerous effort. See what I mean? Back and forth. I'd say that France definitely had the edge in the first half, really should have scored from that Rabiot-Griezmann moment, but this match in general felt like it was simmering and hadn't yet been able to boil after one half. As Peter Drury put it, at the half, it was a high-quality football match that was yet to happen, you know? This match really felt like the Netherlands were missing Frankie de Jong, like he could have been the big difference maker for them. Someone in the midfield who could control the ball, dictate the tempo, and spring attacks when needed instead of constantly defaulting to trying to just get the ball up the pitch as quickly as possible and then forcing the attackers to hold it up and wait or force them into one-on-one situations. Respect to Schouten and Reinders, who wasn't as influential in this match as he was against Poland, but de Jong is just another level, right? In the 65th minute, Griezmann came close once again as France once again tried to pass their way into the goal from Thuram to Kante to Griezmann, and he couldn't get the ball under a spell as it was bouncing. But Verbruggen did well to cut down the angle. Fantastic kick save from him there, take nothing away from his part of things. Now, the Netherlands did score a nice goal, a really nice goal actually, as Gakpo played it inside to Depay, who held it up well, forced to save. It came out to Simons, and he smashed it past Maignan. Now, it was called off. Why? Because Dumfries was ruled to have been affecting the play from an offside position, as Maignan couldn't dive for the ball because of him. I don't know if Maignan could have saved that, and we'll never know. But you can see that he pulled out of diving because Dumfries was there, immediately pointing to Dumfries in his way after the ball hit the back of the net. Offside because Dumfries blocked the path to the ball from an offside position. Saw a lot of emotional reactions to it, and it's one of those calls that people look at very emotionally depending on who you want to win more. For me, it's one of those hate to see it but correct by the book calls, you know? So very, very unfortunate for Simons, who was taken off immediately after that. Poor guy. But what that disallowed goal did for the Netherlands was take some of the heat off of them, because they really were against it in that moment and were soon chasing shadows once again against France. Towards the end of it, it felt like both teams just wanted to draw, didn't it? Or at least Rabiot's cowardly actions in the 18 were telling me that. Again, with an opportunity to strike a goal in the 18, and again, he tried to pass it. Didn't even find a teammate this time. Annoying stuff, really. Made you pine for Mbappe to be out there, or someone from the Dutch side of things to step up. Perhaps a Daniel Malen off of the bench would have been the move, but Koeman seemed to be resigned to wanting just a draw. Netherlands at the end were just passing it around slowly. France not even closing them down. And I will say it's pretty disappointing to see this French side playing like this when you consider their first match as well. They have a distinct lack of potency in the attack, which stretches back to their match against Austria. They are still yet to score a goal from open play in 2 matches. They needed that clanger from Volber in the Austria match, that unforced error, in order for them to win that game. Considering the squad they have, the expectations surrounding them, France have been one of the bigger disappointments in this tournament. So both France and the Netherlands are on 4 points, Austria on 3, Poland on 0, and eliminated. If Austria can defeat the Netherlands in their next match, they will be through, and Netherlands will be waiting to see if they are one of the top 3rd place teams. But we'll see what happens. It should be a thrilling final day. So, your thoughts, guys? What did you make of that Netherlands and France match? And do you find France as disappointing as I do? Let me know in the comments. Other than that, thanks again for joining me. And hey, we'll do a watch along tomorrow for Portugal versus Turkey. See you there. Take care, guys.